Welcome to HumanityWins.net. Please read the important disclaimer on your screen. All of the content provided is for entertainment purposes only. It should not be taken as medical or legal advice. Please contact your doctor or lawyer if you require such advice. Thank you. The show starts right now. Welcome to episode 52 from May the 10th of the year 2022. Today is the second part of our yesterday's interview with Harald Klaus Vela. And I want to, as you can see in the screen, make clear this is part 2. If you are watching this independently and you haven't watched part 1, it's not gonna make a lot of sense, especially at the beginning, okay? Because we were in the middle of a subject. So please go back and watch part 1 and then come back and start this video. We created 2 videos because the interview went over an hour, and it's a way, like, I don't know if you remember, like they used to show movies, and they still do in Europe, that they show you the first part, the second part, and there's a little intercession in the middle. So this is the same, so you can digest it a little better, because the whole interview together would have gone for a long while. So without further ado, we're gonna watch the second part of this interview, and then I'm gonna give you my final comments and the final part of the video. Thank you.
So very difficult to grab kind of the wisdom in between the possibilities. And now we can talk about free energy, technically. But I'm not promoting any blueprints or machines where people can produce and to get rich. You know, this is not...
Because that's not the whole point. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I would like to let you speak all the time, but yes, everything is ringing a bell inside me. The way I see it, Harald, is we discover ourselves as a humanity, as a consciousness. Then we can bring down the hierarchies and move the scarcity to the abundance. I don't see also a way that you're going to have free energy that makes powers Volkswagen or whatever. No, because free energy will be breaking the matrix or spell that things have to be scarce, that you have to buy things, that someone has to sell you things, that you have to profit. It's not communism, guys, because I've told, okay, so you promote socialism and communism. No, that there were hierarchies in Soviet Union. It was the high guys were great and the populace was suffering, and they were the producers of everything. So that's not the point. The point is, if we discover ourselves, as Harald says, if we heal ourselves of our past doings and love us and understand that that's fine, that we're learning, then eventually, gradually, we can bring free energy to power the new world through an abundance of everything. And yes, you're going to be equal to the other. You have to take that paradigm from your head, that this is a competition, a constant competition, that you have to go to university and master school and have a great job or make a great business. It's all things planted in your head because you want a good life economically, financially. And I know money is an energy. It's something in this reality that we all have to make. I'm right now in my office. I mean, so really, we need to work, we need to put in the work, but the new world will be different, that we will do things just helping each other, just doing things through love and free energy. I think it's power through the love of the universe. But again, those are my non-technical comments on Harald's extremely right and great explanation of why free energy as a product will never work, and you're totally right. So I will now allow you to speak about the technicalities.
Okay, so we go to physics. First of all, the term energy is something rather stillborn. If you look back at it, it was, I think, 1871 or 2 or 3. Not exactly sure what year, but till then, energy didn't exist as a terminology. And what they were looking for, kind of, if you look at the different expressions of nature, like you have coal, you have water, and the possibility to turn it into steam. So you have the thermodynamics of liquids and gases. And you have the kinetic energy produced by the steam machines. people were looking for equations where they can calculate from one field into another, where they could calculate how many coal do we need to produce that much heat, and how much heat do we need to produce that much motion.
Yes.
And then the motion was calculated into electricity, and the electricity was calculated into the light bulbs were producing, and everything needed kind of an abstract term to be able to transfer one unit to another.
Okay.
And energy was found as that abstract term, and it was giving a kind of okay result in calculations, with very many limitations. Only in a mix of two gases. Add a third gas, equations don't work anymore. Only in chaotic systems. Add some order into, like in thermokinetic conversion, where you have wave patterns that spontaneously self-organize and turn something into a kinetic power straight out of the heat. Terminology calculations don't work anymore. Take nonlinear processes with more than two, so three or more initial systems. The mechanics don't work anymore. Whenever things get too complicated, we can, just by measuring, see that the term of energy is just a word that gives us an opportunity to make some estimations. Roughly. Not more than roughly. But like the human brain is, once we have a word, we assign a portion of reality to that word. So for us, suddenly, energy exists. Fucking bullshit, it doesn't even exist. It's just a term.
Yes.
A word we put behind some calculations we make. And it doesn't make sense in the mind of, I mean, like let's take a meteorite in open space. Everyone would agree it has kinetic energy. Yeah? Simple thing. Every physicist will cheer and say, yes, of course. Measure the velocity and you will know. But then, let's say I come from Earth, I go out there, my reference system is the position of Earth, and the comet is flying towards me, so I can calculate his kinetic energy. And then a completely different species is traveling for millennia through the space, and then it says, okay, let's rest for a little bit to have a brunch break. And then they realize, oh, we are flying next to a comet by coincidence. The relative velocity is 0. Ask them to calculate the kinetic energy of that piece of stone. They will come to a completely different result. So who is right? Is mine right? Is theirs right? No, it's all within relativity.
Einstein's work, basically, yes.
Einstein's work, yeah, but he kind of forced it back into being calculable. He got scared and he pushed it back. He didn't let the child out.
That's why I'm not a fan of Einstein.
Yeah. He kind of came to the point of acknowledging that in warped space-time, the laws of conservation of energy are not valid. And then he quickly said, so let's assume locally flat space-time.
Assumption, yeah.
Assumption. Easy to prove wrong, but let's assume it to not fall into the trap of having free energy, because whoever financed him or controlled him would have put a bullet into his head. It would have declared that we had free energy available as soon as we locally warp space-time, because nothing as easy as that. And he did it behind closed doors. Kind of, he's said to be the father of Projekt Glocke, the Nazi bell, utilizing locally warped space-time to create anti-gravity and free energy and whatever.
Of the apparently basis of the Nazi UFOs. Yes.
Yes, yes. And then he went to the United States, and he's meant to be the mastermind behind Montauk Project and Philadelphia experiment and whatever. So yes, they play around with warping space-time and utilizing that equation that says in locally warped space-time there is no energy conservation. So it is easy, and every single thing in nature is walking space-time. Take the pistol shrimp. Beautiful example. It has a claw, and there's kind of a hammer and a hole, and it clicks his hammer into the hole, and then in the front of the claw, a stream of water shoots out. And it shoots out so quickly that it pulls a vacuum bubble behind.
Okay.
And then the vacuum bubble is traveling a little bit, then it's imploding and creating a cavitation effect. So it's creating velocities of 3,600 meters per hour, temperatures of 40,000 degrees Celsius,
Wow.
and shoots a shock wave out of that cavitation collapse that is capable of breaking the shell of another crab on a distance of 20 centimeters, just by doing, free energy. There was a beautiful short documentary on YouTube showing the way this crab is living and what it's doing.
I'm gonna look for it. I didn't know about it, honestly.
The pistol shrimp. And it was censored. I announced it on several forums and occasions as a proof for free energy. And they reverse back engineered a completely different version of scientific documentary on crabs, just to pretend that there's no energetic effect.
Of course, they're never going to allow it, Harold. It's a game changer, a game ender. Okay, so they're never going to allow it.
Yeah. Which is okay for me. Too early. Imagine you find out the precise size of. Oops, no, I'm saying too much. Let's imagine someone is finding out the precise size that is needed to have the perfect cavitation process. You take a little metal disc and you drill holes in exactly the correct side, make a hyperbolic funnel that resembles the jet stream of that cavitation bubble in the perfect size. And then put it into a pipe and let water flow through it. Now what happens? It comes out at 400 degrees on the other end, steam.
Okay.
That's that easy it is. All you need to know is the correct size. You need to understand some things about resonance structures, frequencies, sizes. This all goes into global scaling, and it needs a bit of deeper understanding of how the universe is. So don't waste your time to drill holes into tiny little metal pieces. It's not going to work just like that. Okay. But it's possible.
Okay.
The last one did it in the 80s. He got shot.
No, I know. And I heard another story about someone using a different type of energy through the waves of the sea. He was also killed. And there's a lot of energy there. I just don't agree with messing with nature, you see. That's why I say the worst kind is nuclear, in my opinion, because you're attempting to destroy matter. Then the second worst will be oil and gas and that. You're extracting from Mother Earth to burn chemically things to generate energy. And then even these new ones, these nicer ones, such as aeolic, wind energy, wind turbines, and even solar. For example, solar, you're taking rays from the sun that are supposed to do other things, biological things. You're taking them to generate photovoltaic cell and generate electricity from there. And the aeolic ones, you're putting a generator out there in nature with a huge turbine that's generating cations unnecessarily in nature, just to power a generator to create electricity. When we have the way I understand free energy is not a creation of energy, but it's a tapping of energy. It's just getting energy out of the universe. So I just wanted to ask you finally on free energy if that it was told on this kind of mainstream that Nikola Tesla said that 1 cubic meter, again 100 years ago maybe, could power the world for 1 year, apparently, something like that. So those were his calculations. And I also heard recently 1 cubic centimeter could power the United States for 1 year. I know these are just estimations and that, but that tells you everything you need to know, because in the space you are, in the space I am, there could be all the energy that the world needs, and that's incredible. Just wanted to your opinion on if you feel those are factual or just estimations.
We need to be careful with it for two reasons. First, you have two different possibilities to extract energy from the quantum vacuum. One is take from brother structures. For example, the cavitation process is taking the energy from plasma motion patterns in the sun plasma and the magma plasma of inner Earth. So it is one vortex inspiring the other, having a non-local interaction so that all the vortexes speed up and move in the same velocity.
Okay.
Tapping into something like that, like nature does, is okay. You can do it, no problem. So if you want to heat up water in that way, all you do is you extract a little bit of heat from the core of the sun and a little bit of heat from the core of the planet, depending on exactly what frequency you utilize and what bubble size you utilize. This is something, it's no big problem. If you use like electromagnetic means, and you take the energy from the surrounding matter, from the scalar potential of your immediate environment, you're warping space-time locally. And then suddenly you have a portal and all the demons creep in.
Not good, yes.
So there's a goal to free energy that is taking things from the brother, from a similar structure, non-locally existing. There's a limit of what you should do, and this is like 2 kilowatts of continuous power output, peaking at 8. You know, for a couple of minutes, seconds, you can take 8, but never exceed 8 as a peak, and never exceed 2 as an average.
Can that be done?
You can maintain this space-time continuum in one piece without opening portals.
No, we don't want to do that. But can you do this multidimensionally in a way? Is there to make it exponential? I mean, I'm just asking. I don't know anything about it. I'm just asking, just from what you're explaining, or is that just the limit? Because that's not going to do it, of course. Yes.
No, this is just a careful measure for the coming few years, because in a couple of more years we will learn to fuel it from the father structure.
Okay.
Which means that our access to the divine, the energy we can pull from the divine through our heart chakra, is going to power the devices we use. And if you take the energy not from the brother, but from the father, then you are in the divine order. And then it doesn't matter how much you pull. And what you do with it will be limited by the wisdom of your heart. So this is actually what I am waiting for. I really remember one guy from Mexico City who was living in the suburbs. Okay. His son had kidney failure from early youth, and he was hanging on machines, and he was living in the suburbs, and every now and then the electricity went off.
Okay.
And this father had to make sure that his son was 24/7 connected to medical machinery. The day. So if the electricity went off, he needed to somehow survive with batteries or whatever. So he took an old motorcycle, like one of the very lightweight ones, like 50 cubic centimeters engine volume. He took a hammer and he hit the back wheel and deformed the back wheel. And then he gave it a spin, and it started rotating. Okay. And it didn't stop rotating. This wheel was feeding the little generator in that motorcycle, delivering unlimited energy. And I remember a time when all the free energy gurus of the world wanted to visit this machine, trying to make calculations of how the deformation of the back wheel was feeding the physics to ensure that it never stops rotating.
Was there electromagnetics in play there, maybe?
The generator that was delivering electricity
Yes.
for motorcycle, yes. But the wheel didn't stop spinning.
I understand, yes.
I always said, no, this is the love of the father towards his son. That is keeping this.
Yeah, that's beaming from the heart chakra of the father, because I can relate to that.
This is the secret he found. And then it doesn't really matter how you build a technology, because we are creator beings when we are connected to the divine and to our creative consciousness. We can, by definition, decide to manifest the machine in matter with our hands or our imagination that is designed in a way that it delivers energy. And nobody cares about rules then, about laws of physics or whatever. Because we are connected to Source, and Source does what Source wants to do.
Okay.
He's not like a government. The governments also, they give a shit about their own laws. When they want something, they take it. Source is not much different. If Source wants to create something, it creates it through us or through whatever entity beingness is connected to his creative powers. And we do have the capacity to be exactly that. And it's developing and it's coming. So then completely different things will be possible. And we don't need to stick to stupid laws of physics.
Yes, Newton.
This is what actually I'm waiting for to evolve. This is why I'm very quiet on the entire topic of free energy, unless I can basically stop people from cutting down forests or burning crude oil or whatever, or not crude oil. Crude oil I wouldn't even touch the topic, but if you can replace, for example, oil used in cosmetics that is harvested from coconut trees, where they cut down rainforests to plant coconut trees, if they will get an entry to that industry, offering them freshly transmuted oils, for example, instead of putting them into engines and burn them, what many people tried in Germany. I saw like 3 companies going down under, trying to trade freshly transmuted diesel. And they're all dead or in jail now, kind of.
When they don't like you, they destroy you, and that's the rules of the game. I personally, Harold, I don't find it's a good idea to burn anything to create energy, and even if it's oil, it's from Mother Earth. Maybe we don't know if Mother Earth needs that. We have to drill, we have to make a hole in Mother Earth, and I don't like that. I think there are better ways. Even, as I said, that for me it goes from nuclear, the worst one, to maybe aeolic or solar or hydroelectrical. We still mess with the flows, with the kinetic energy of the rivers and that there's a purpose to that. That's nature. We don't know. We really don't understand. And I tell a lot of people, because 2020 seems to be like the moment the world got worse, and I asked, 2019 was so great. I mean, we were not living in balance. And it's not that I'm an environmentalist. This is not about climate change, because now they claim it's even good to burn carbon into the atmosphere. That will be better for crops and that. I don't know about that. Maybe that's true. But still, that doesn't mean that we live in balance with Mother Earth and other species. We're really not a very good evolved species in this planet, because we don't live in balance. So the question is, Harold, I'm also waiting for the future, that we live in balance with everything and everyone, not only human beings, because it's not only about us. We have a Mother Earth, you call it Gaia, yes, and we have to understand we really need to limit our free will or creation will to that. And I'm a firm believer, thoughts are going to become reality, and we're going to build incredible things, organic things, that are going to come from our thoughts, as you say, as free energy from this parent in Mexico City came from his heart chakra. And I truly believe that we're going to power the earth through our own thoughts and realities in a very organic and balanced way. I'm a firm believer. Is that coming this year, the next, 2025, 2030? I don't know. Am I going to see it with my own eyes? I don't know. I just know that I'm going to go elsewhere, and humanity is going to be okay. That's the future of humanity. That's going to happen. So I just wanted to interject that. And if you want, Harald, I would like, I don't know how we're doing with time. I didn't, okay. So we're about done with time. I wanted to just go through the consultations on your website. Is that okay with you? Do you want to talk about that? The things you offer, maybe this, if it's comfortable with you, or just for...
Yes, we can make a show. I don't know if it needs to stick at the end of the free energy video, but you can put it online maybe as a separate block if you feel like.
Yes, because right now I don't know exactly. I'm watching my phone. It's 1:19 here, so I think we have been going on for an hour now or something. So I can cut, as I said, this in 2 separate episodes very easily, and it's gonna look very organic. So
let's just make 10 minutes on what I exactly offered or or like.
So I made. Yeah, sure. I made a list here, and I wanna say everyone listening that I've done some of these therapies, and my wife has done some of these therapies as well. So if you want some validation that you don't need because you're talking to Harald Caswella, these are really great stuff that you're offering, Harald, and I hope some of people listening go to your website. I'm going to include the link on the show notes, and I'm going to make it very easy for you to click on Harald's website, and you just have to make an appointment, and you could have these sessions with him. So emotional freedom technique, I know it as tapping, that if you want to explain it, but I kind of know what you're talking about.
So what I do offer is actually assistance in self-healing.
Yes.
Because you can give a man a fish, or you can give a man a fishing rod, or you can show him how to build one, or you can just build one knowing that he's watching your fingers. So the less you do, the more you give on the long term. So it's all about assistance in self-healing, and the spirit needs to see, feel, acknowledge, be aware of who he is, what he has lost, to be capable of rejoining things into one piece. Because everything that is happening with the human spirit is we make experience, and if it's painful, we break, we dissemble ourselves into bits and pieces and splits and lose more and more and more of ourselves. Plus, we scatter our divine spark into multiple incarnations, having multiple stories to be reunited at the end of the day as karmic cycles. So in these years, what really seems to be a good idea to do is this reassembling work of the self, which is starting with trauma relief from this lifetime, soul splits, soul losses from this lifetime. It goes on with things that are getting rid of all the things that are not us in this lifetime, like personalities that are just mental constructs created in toxic environments during childhood, that just maintain themselves in a position of power, and then make sure that you never ever leave the toxicity you were grown up in. And it's easy to dissolve them, just needs a little bit of technique to do it. Getting rid of demonic entities that sit in traumas, feed on your energy. So this is kind of maintenance of this life cycle. And then it goes back to previous lifetimes, integration of previous lifetimes, solving contracts done in other lifetimes.
Very interesting. Yes, I know about that.
On the good end, sometimes we contract archons or demons on the bad end of things. And this all can be fixed if you have the vision to see what you have done in those times. But this is kind of for advanced people, because first it needs to completely deblock the lower chakras, because previous lifetime work needs emotional memory to be open.
So maybe someone can go through that in your sessions, multidiscipline in a way. So start with the healing of that and then go into previous lifetimes, as you say. Needs preparation, guys. It's big stuff. I just wanted to say something about contracts. I also heard, Harald, that contracts can be family members from the past. Is that right? That maybe can affect you, that you need to dissolve. So, for example, guys, everyone listening, money is an energy. It's referred in these terms as abundance, but I find that a little bit confusing. But there are people that no matter how much they try, money is a problem for them always. They're really good persons. They put in the work. Their businesses fails, and that there might be a contract in the past you need to dissolve, and these techniques could help you. I know about that. My wife knows about that a lot, and I wanted just to interject that. So you want to keep going? Sorry.
Yeah. So the higher art then is to completely assemble a karmic cycle. If, normally a soul is choosing for a topic, and then it looks at one and the same topic from different perspectives. Like, let's look at it from the perpetrator role, look at it from the victim role, then look at it from the savior role. You get molested in one lifetime, you are a molester in the second lifetime, and in the third one, you work in a social station taking care of molested children. Then you do have all three perspectives. And then you can say, I have learned about the topic. Being able to forgive yourself to be the perpetrator, being able to forgive yourself that you have been the victim. Because also that is a choice and has its own dynamics. Understanding kind of the savior role is mostly the last experience we make in a karmic cycle. So this is where people come to closure with their lifetimes. But sometimes, I had to learn that doing trauma relief, sometimes you cannot resolve a trauma just by finding the victim experience. Sometimes you can only close the chapter if you have the perpetrator as well. So you need to look for that experience somewhere. And then you get full closure on karmic issues. So this is kind of the things I do. It's not that I'm really keen to have more of that, but we went up to MK Ultra deprogramming, which is really tricky, but doable. I hope I'm not flooded with this now, just by stating it. But most of all, I would like in future, because I'm overwhelmed with private sessions. I can't do more than I'm doing already. On the limit of what I can do energy-wise, time-wise. So what I really, really would love to do is educate people to be capable to do that service of leading other people through self-healing processes. So I would like to invite people for seminars to learn the technique so they can take my job and do it in their environment. Because it doesn't make sense if more ends up on my hands. I can't do it. So I need more people who volunteer to learn the technique and be willing to offer the service as well.
Are these seminars, Harald, just in Germany, or they are online? Maybe these persons can only learn this online, or it has to be physical presence?
No, it needs physical presence. Till now, I just worked in Germany, but I intend to offer something on my farm during summer that is going to be conducted in English. So this is already planned. We still need to take care of the architecture to be able to host people. And normally it comes till now in kind of 2-day seminars. And then let's say 5 weekends are enough for full transfer of abilities. And I would like to have it a bit more systematic when people travel from abroad to make a 5-day cycle that is okay then, more systematic to get the full package of techniques.
Yeah, so you can travel from other parts from Europe and it's a week, right? So that's doable. It's like, you spend that for a vacation, why not for this? That's excellent. And also the fact of the language, I forgot about that, you're right, it's probably in German. and if you do it in English, it's a little bit more mainstream. So that's excellent, Harald. I'm a firm believer we are here to assist, and I get in problems sometimes with people that talk about helping, and I try to tell helping is excellent when you bring someone up. If they're really down, for example, someone that is hungry, and that it's very difficult to say, I'm going to assist you to have your own food. But when you help them just a little bit so they're strong enough to help themselves, for me, that's the best thing, because if you just keep helping, it's like we do with Africa. And Africa is a subject very touching with me, because I don't understand how there could be an Africa in this world. And before the pandemic, we want to call it, 100,000 dead, 500,000 dead, 9.3 million die of hunger each year. Has someone said something? So we said beans to Africa. Why don't we help them get up, build systems for them, help them understand how to build their own systems, how to be stronger spiritually and physically? Not just taking religions there, because okay, religions, okay, I have a problem as well with that, because it's a control mechanism, but help them really get strong. And yes, there doesn't have to be an Africa, so it can be a Europe or a United States. I don't believe in that. So I really commend you in your work, because what you're trying to do, in my understanding, and is resonating in my heart right now, is you're trying to assist others, so going multi-layered, not only help themselves, but help others once they understand these techniques, which I believe, and I do myself, some of them. And the only reason I haven't done all of them is maybe I don't find someone here to do them. But also very briefly, I see you tapped into, I don't know the pronunciation, the German doctor Rife, it's in Spanish, R-I-F-E. I have the machine. It's connected to a computer. It's called Spooky, the one I have. And you, through frequency, I don't understand it very well, but the way I understand it is, so certain frequencies you can help in certain ailments, because once the frequency heals the ailment and the ailment has the same frequency, there has to be a resonance, and once it has to be destroyed and the ailment goes away. Similar concept to something called homeopathy in Spanish, that it's the two frequency system. You have the ailment, the homeopathy is basically a copy of the ailment, so the body has to take one out that takes the ailment out, so you heal yourself by signaling what's wrong with you physically. You take the ailment out. So I also see, I don't know if this one you do it physically, and I know it can be done through quantum frequency. I did buy the one that you put a little piece of nail, and you have the frequency of the person. I didn't really know if it worked, but it's usually you connect yourself through some electrodes, and it's direct connection, or there's also this remote. And also, just finally, see you also do offer Reiki, or it's on your website. And I've done Reiki. It works throughout the earth and throughout the universe, because you have your own frequency. I just wanted to say that.
I was educated by Tsukio Mahikari, similar to Reiki, but a different school. But yes, bioenergetics is one important first step to teach yourself to feel your own bioenergetics. It's very important. Make your body transparent to light again.
Excellent. Do you want to add anything else, Harald, maybe on closing?
No, I'm fine.
Thank you very much. I really want to appreciate the opportunity, Harald. And I'm going to present this on 2 episodes, and I'm going to do it on a show type that also links to your website and your work. And well, thank you very much for watching. And we were very lucky today, and I feel very honored to have Harald Klausbell on. Thank you. So you made it. You watched the full interview over 1 hour. It's approximately 1 hour and 30 minutes altogether. And I just want to give you my final comments. First of all, I was deeply honored. Really, Harald Klausbell is one of the persons I admire the most, in the sense of he's so bright, and he's so humble, and he's so human. And right now what he's doing, he's refraining from the scientific analysis of things, which is great, but he went back and is assisting others assist themselves. So really, really everything that went through the interview was resonating inside me. I was really making an effort not to interrupt him, and I'm sorry if I did that a couple of times. You can see that this is a general message, okay? This is a clear example. This is a general message, okay? Humanity is coming together. The game is coming to an end, okay? And we did speak a little bit in part one about the origins of black goo, and I don't know if you noticed that the volcanic black goo, that is basically, and I want to make a clarification, the one I always speak about is the volcanic one, is the evil one, okay? I never speak about the other kind of black goo, which is more terrestrial, is Gaia, as Harald says, and shilajit and other products might come from that type of black goo. But the one I always talk about is the alien one, and is the demon one, okay? And you can see I explain things the way I understand them, so factually maybe there are going to be some issues there, but you have to understand it's my understanding of things, my feeling of things. And just a clarification, basically that's the game. The game is aliens came here a long time ago. This black goo, it's energy, black energy, bad energy, evil energy, demonic energy. If you want to use the label Satan, you always go ahead and call it Satan. I'm not going to use it because it's not that I don't believe in or on Satan. I believe in evil, in this type of evil, which is, by the way, good beings that went rogue and decided to go bad through their free will, okay? So I still believe that, even after this interview. And we didn't make the clarification because we had so many subjects to talk about. I didn't want to make so many interruptions. But you can see this black goo came in meteorites, and is the basis of what you call Satanist calls and evil calls, and basically everything that is going on in the world, because everything is, you do this for me and I will do this for you, okay? And a lot of things are based on this extortion mechanism of bad energy that doesn't believe in love, that is all about hierarchies, all about competition, all about trampling each other. All of that is based on all this energy. I know it's probably too much to take to say, so something that came from in a meteorite is really what's controlling Earth. In a way, yes, that's my feeling, okay? But we are going to get away from that. We're winning, you see, because that energy only touches you if you allow it to do, through your free will. If you want to play that game, then you're playing their game. When you hate, when you fear, when you seek violence, when you seek, I know this is a hard one, but when you seek justice through violence, when you envy, when you judge, when you do all these emotions, they recharge this volcanic black goo. And I'm going to keep just saying that black goo in the future, okay? But I'm always going to refer to the bad one. And they win, they get their power, you see? Because that's why this black goo will give you things if you give it blood and all of those things, okay? Crime, hate, judgment, domestic problems, fathers hating children, children hating fathers, all of that. All sometimes through stupidity. I mean, I'm sorry if I say stupidity, but through stupid arguments, it's a better way to say stupid arguments, just silly arguments, pride, all of these emotions, you know what I'm talking about. Just get them out, take the limits off. It's basically the same stuff I've been telling you for 52 episodes. Take the limits off, discover yourself, discover your past lives. You are much more than this life. You're only looking at a book that has 1,000 chapters, and you're looking at one chapter. You only know about one chapter. You have to go and look at the other 999 chapters, okay? So I've gone through this discovery, and it's there are techniques, and as Harald says, he's more keen into assisting others, into training others, so they can give this kind of therapies or services to others of the discovery of your past life, your past trauma, as he says, your past, discovering what you did and understanding that everything is fine, doesn't matter, because you love yourself and you have understood your lessons. And if you're here and you're benevolent, you have understood your lessons, you have to clear that karma, because it could be like something that gets like a pipe and it gets a little bit stuck. Yes, karma could be like that. So these therapies help clearing that karma. So anyhow, I'm gonna stop because I don't want to do the video so long, but I have so much to say. I could go for an hour really telling you about my feelings about this whole interview. That was great. And I want to mention something. I got a couple of comments. You have to understand, a few of my very close friends, they are listeners of the show. And so I get almost immediate comments from them, and they have, I don't know, the liberty to say whatever they want. And they say, you know, you seem very comfortable in the interview as an interviewer. So I'm with Wake in the Future, I was the interviewee, so it's a little bit different position. And yes, it's something I enjoyed. Okay, something I enjoyed. Harald made it very easy for me. We have to say that it's someone that is very easy to interview. So, but I'm open to do that. So if either you want to come up in the show or you know someone that has something to say, that's perfect. The only thing, I won't take any negative arguments. Okay, I'm not gonna have a show. I'm sorry. I know I don't want to put in excuses or or limit you, but I'm not going to have a show about the vaccine. I'm not going to have the show about the economic collapse coming or apocalypse. I don't want to do anything of that. I'm tuning them out from my mind. It's things that they don't exist for me. Okay, so just to have a show, probably those will be shows with a lot of views and we'll gather some new subscribers. That's not the point. I know the subscriber count is low at the time. The show is only 2 months also. But that's gonna increase and we're gonna reach a number that is a very small channel, but I want to keep the quality of the material the way it has been, and if you enjoy it, it's gonna be like that. I really don't see any point to going through exotic subjects just to try to increase the size of the show, of the viewership, okay? So yes, I'm very open to do future interviews, and you honor me. If I don't care if you have ever spoken in a video or ever, if you feel comfortable to do that, we can do even several tries, like tryouts. So you get comfortable, we can do a short, we can do a long. You honor me, okay? It's not, of course, we started the first interview with someone extremely bright, extremely important like Harald Kraus-Vella, but we're all equally capable and we're equally important. And whoever wants to come in the show, you honor me, okay? This is your show, not mine, okay? I truly do this just because I have this need inside me, this feel, something or someone is asking me, just share this information respectfully, respecting the laws of the universe, of non-interference, of balance, of free will, of karma, that just present that information because maybe, like I was hearing at Harald, and everything inside me was going, ting, 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 ting. It was everything, okay? And yes, he's extremely technical, and I had a hard time to follow some subjects. I tried my best. But you have to see, he's someone that has exercised his brain very much, and that's the capability of the brain, the good brain, that if that's something you like, read a lot, investigate a lot, experiment a lot, because a lot is through experimentation. So yeah, mainstream science can be used for good, okay? It has good techniques and good things you can do. So it's something that inspires you, listening to Harald. You have free will. You can do whatever you want with your life. Take the limits off. You are not limited. You only limit yourself. All right? So take care. I should be back actually tomorrow for episode 53. So we maintain the Monday, Wednesday, Friday shows. This was a special edition of having Monday and Tuesday in 2 separate parts. So I will be back tomorrow, Wednesday, and I should be back on Friday. I already have my 2 subjects. Wednesday is going to be about the Schumann resonance of Mother Earth. And Friday is going to be a show. And I don't know why it took so long, but I'm gonna make a show of someone that I've spoken to you many times now, that is God, the source, the creator of everything. That one is gonna touch with religion, so I'm sorry if you believe in any religion, you might get a bit offended on that one, but don't take any offense. I respect every belief. If you believe in something, you are further ahead than most, okay? All right, thank you. Please stay for the last 3 minutes of the show. That's the only thing I ask you. Please stay for the last 3 minutes, especially if you have never seen it before. Thanks, and I should be back tomorrow. Thank you. We want you on the show. Send me an email to hey@humanityways.net to schedule an interview. Help me out by making the show more interesting, fun, and knowledgeable by having you on and giving our viewers the opportunity to learn from you. Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover yourself. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version in this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and guidance. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover yourself? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to yourself and the universe. Request to be connected and ask, who am I? Where do I come from? You will start getting signs, breadcrumbs, and signals. You will notice how your notions about those realities start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering yourself equals to breaking your matrix. Your self-imposed limits will fall and you will be ready to serve humanity and help break this spell and deception on us. But you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will start a new war. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how old emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, loss, envy, violence, justice, true violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions serve only the evildoers and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from patching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Please relax and enjoy life. When everyone breaks their own matrix, humanity through our community consciousness will break the final spell. The new world will start and everything will gradually fall. Governments, hierarchies, and the medical and financial system will go from scarcity to abundance for all. Thank you very much for watching. Please share this episode. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you would like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@humanitywins.net. Please be sure to check out our friends from Waking the Future and their awaken-attire.com shop. They gave me my first opportunity to speak about this and I will be forever grateful. Link to their channel and shop on the show notes. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website www.humanitywins.net. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very nice day.